Yaw Smatmcuks Nts Laaqwmays and Alhukwala Worldview. Welcome back once again. We are to the point of our journey in this building of a house of Stl'mstaliwa that we are going to be talking about the worldview, or how other people may have viewed the word, or some stories that they have about this word or value. And the word that we are talking about is, of course, Alhukwala. So I will once again tap into the nerdy side of my brain and start talking about one of my passions of Greek mythology. And then we will do another quick story that I have just recently learned, and that will be our video for today. So, Asclepius, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I don't even know that much about him. He was a son of Apollo, so I probably should have read this story a bit more or written it down, but we'll see how it goes. Basically, it was like prophesized that he would defeat death, and then he was like poisoned by a snake, or bit by a poison snake that didn't kill him, and then he became a healer through that snake, or blessed through that snake, and then that snake like stuck himself onto his rod, his stick, his healing staff. And yeah, so Asclepius was the not so much patron of healing, but he was like, Apollo was kind of the healer god, but I guess Asclepius was the god of doctors, which tends to be who we're talking about today. And so he was used as a deity, he was used as a patron of healers. I believe he even had his own cult at one point. The snake was used to represent shedding your skin and like revitalization and renewal and all of that kind of stuff. That is about the extent of my knowledge on Asclepius. And that, but the rod of Asclepius is what is commonly used as the thing, the insignia of medical associations all across the world, which is to not be confused with the catamus, which is the staff of Hermes or Mercury, the little quick guy who flies around and is a real pain in the butt in God of War. That guy. So we will quickly end this out with the story of Al-Zawari, who is the father of modern surgery. I can't remember which kingdom he served, but just to give a little bit of background and history on this guy, he came from a time where, especially in like the Middle Eastern countries, wealth was becoming a prominent factor for the civilization, for the civilians, and so I think that was a huge thing for those parts of the world, was that now that medicine was being recognized as something, now that health and wellness was a staple of the civilization and the people that lived in this time, the only people that had the knowledge would have been those that worked with kings. And so the only way that you could get healed is if you had money or if you were part of the royal family. But this guy, Al-Zawari, was the first person who, despite his king's orders, I don't know if that's quite, but despite his king's orders, would see everybody. He was the first emergency room, and this was kind of an unknown thing at the time, and because kings and queens too were quite skeptical of the illnesses that common folk would get rather than that of the royals, so they were quite meticulous on keeping the two class systems well apart from each other. And Al-Zawahiri, when he went through this process, actually discovered a lot of cures to common ailments and sicknesses, and he wrote them all down into a compendium, a big book. And with this knowledge, the European and Western, well, all sciences were pushed and made to be greater than they ever could have been before. That is all thanks to his philanthropic, his goodwill is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, that is my video for today on Worldview. Alhukwala Worldview. Salutations from the Salmon Belly.